Hello Mets fans, welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at two all-star closers that we have touched on here previously on the channel with the Mets that have shown reported interest in, and there has been some more reported interest really over the past half hour, which led me to making this video for today and not having it out tomorrow. But I'm really excited to get into this, guys, because these guys, we know exactly who they are and what they can bring to the table. So the matter is which one, if any, is more sensible to land in Queens, which one would make the most sense, would be the better fit, and everything in between. That's what we will be breaking down today's video, so make sure you stay all the way till the end to find all the deets and all my thoughts on these two all-star closers that are currently free agents, which ones make the most sense to land in Queens, assuming that the Mets can't land both. But like everything else, anything isn't out of the realm of possibility. There are some reasons to suggest that maybe the Mets can land both of them, but in the assumption that they can't, which one is best fit? So that's what we're going to find out in today's video. And if you guys end up enjoying this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this going forward, please make sure to smash that like button, share this video with your friends, put on that subscribe button and notification bell. It would really mean a lot. We are just getting started here on the channel. I want you to be a part of it if you aren't already. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into this video. All right, guys, we know who these closers are, not just from the title, but because we touched on them previously on the channel. That being Brad Hand from the Cleveland Indians most recently, and also having Hendricks, who's most recently with the Oakland A's. Both these guys have been dominant in the MLB for multiple years now, and when you look at both of them in the market currently for free agency, they are the biggest names out there in the reliever market, and the Mets have shown interest in both. It started out with Brad Hand when he was first put on waivers, really right around when the Mets came in with a new regime with Sandy Alderson and Steve Cohen, but because of the fact that they weren't immediately in as the new regime in time, they weren't able to land him when he was still on waivers, because Sandy Alderson, as we know, stated in his first presser along with Cohen that would they have been already in the new regime for the Mets and have control at that time, they would have probably claimed a guy of Brad Hand's caliber. So that's great to know, and there's been further reports literally just a half an hour ago, which has led me to making this video for you today, and that is from John Heyman once again breaking down that the Mets are again showing interest in Brad Hand, which leads me to believe is more interest than what they were currently doing. So I'm really excited about that, and you guys should be too. And then with Hendricks, we know the story there. The Mets have shown interest in him really over the past month and a half to 2 months. He's another amazing reliever. These guys are righties, that being in Hendricks and lefty and Brad Hand. So there's a lot of pros and cons of both these guys. So overall, when it comes to their game, there's plenty to like and plenty to love. And Mets have shown interest in both of them, but at the end of the day, the likelihood of landing both of them is rather slim. Time will tell, but if I had to assume, the Mets will probably be able to land one at least of these two-star relievers. It won't be easy, but like anything else, the Mets have been showing interest in everyone out there, hoping that they can just get some more things done. But to get into some statistics here we have Hendricks. At 31 years of age in 2020, this past season, he had a 1.78 ERA in just 25 innings pitched, equating to 13.14 K per nine. Amazing. And in 2019, in 85 innings pitched, he racked up a 1.80 ERA, going for his first All-Star appearance and doing so with a 13.13 K per nine, and currently has a career 4.10 ERA, and has spent the past 4 seasons with the Oakland A's, as we know. And then when we get on to Brad Hand, the 30-year-old, in 2020 had a 2.05 ERA in just 22 innings pitched and 11.86 K per nine, and in 2019 had a 3.30 ERA in 57 innings pitched, equating to 13.19 Ks per nine. And his career has a 3.65 ERA, and in 4 of the last 5 seasons has had a sub-3 ERA. And both these guys are highly coveted, the biggest relievers on the market currently, as we know, and the Mets have shown interest in both of them. And when it comes to Hendricks, the Mets reportedly shown interest in him with over the past month or two, as we already touched on here on the channel. And Hendricks does have a connection with the Mets in some capacity, because let's look at Sandy Alderson. Alderson was previously the senior advisor for the Oakland A's back in 2019, so he had a great familiarity and has already discussed Hendricks. I believe it was on WFAN between Karn and Roberts, talking about the just free agency as a whole in regards to players that really bounced back after being put on waivers, because I think they did touch on the James McCann signing and that similar story with not being tendered by the Tigers and then going to the White Sox and being a completely different player. Same thing has happened with Hendricks. His first 2 years weren't fantastic with the A's after being picked up from the Toronto Blue Jays, I believe, going into the 2016 season, but from the past 2 years, he has been one of, if not the best reliever in all baseball, and is looking like he's truly in the prime of his career and is looking for a big payday as well, I'm sure. And same thing can be said with Brad Hand. So which guy makes the most sense when you look at the Mets options right now? Because Brad Hand, if you're looking when it comes to a lefty, Brad Hand is your guy, no doubt. He looks like the best lefty currently in the free agent market, still in the prime of his career, only at the age of 30. And if you're looking for more consistency when it comes to a guy's game, you're looking for a guy like Brad Hand, because unlike Liam Hendriks, Brad Hand has been a very consistent pitcher for the most part in his career. When you look at Liam Hendriks, he has been a late bloomer to say the least, but the upside of that is the fact that Liam Hendriks has finally found his game and would most likely bring that type of rhythm with the Mets. Because if you asked me a year ago, would Liam Hendriks be a good sign for the Mets, I would say I'm really not sure, mainly because the Mets at the time didn't have the type of analytical group that they currently have now with this new regime, with Zach Scott especially being the assistant GM and the senior VP for the Mets. So I really like what the Mets are doing right now, and when you especially look at their options when it comes to their analytical group, it is light years better than what it was a year ago and probably for the past couple of decades. So having this information is key. I guarantee that was a huge factor in Liam Hendriks' success with the A's, because they have been analytical gurus, as we know, led by Billy Beane for the longest time. He's no longer with them, I believe, because he has a stake in the with the Red Sox ownership, if my memory serves me correct. But no less, Liam Hendriks is a great get. He's a flamethrower. If you're looking for a dominant guy on the mound that is so aggressive and just so intimidating to go up against, and Liam Hendriks is your guy through and through. He might not top out at 100 per se, but he literally throws like he's throwing 100 just from his release. It's nasty. He shows his emotion on the mound with each strikeout and save, and I love that about him, truly. Brad Hand is a completely different story. Brad Hand, you're not looking for the flame-throwing type when you're getting a guy like Brad Hand. You're looking at his great off-speed stuff as well. So if you're looking for a lefty, which the Mets desperately need in that bullpen outside Jerry Blevins, no offense Blevins, I love the guy, but realistically he shouldn't be your best lefty in the bullpen. So that's why Brad Hand is so enticing, and he may very well be the best fit for the Mets. But I will say that the Mets do in fact have an option to go for both these guys if they simply can afford it. The belief from multiple reports that I'm currently seeing is that Brad Hand is not going to be making as much as Liam Hendriks does in free agency, because of just how dominant Hendriks has been from the 2020 short season and also in his 2019 season where he finally showed out. And if you're also looking for a guy who has less innings on his arm and is probably less likely to get injured per se, Liam Hendriks could very well be your guy too. I get it, he's a year older than Brad Hand at least, but he has I believe he has around at least 80 innings less on his arm than a guy like Brad Hand. So that's a full season. And if you look at Brad Hand, he hasn't pitched 80 innings since around the 2017 season, which he pitched right around 79.1 innings pitched, and the year before that he pitched right around 90. But if you look at a guy like Liam Hendriks, just back in 2019 he handled 85 total innings pitched and only had a 1.80 ERA. Amazing numbers. And when you look at a guy like Brad Hand, he has never put up that great of an ERA in his entire career, I believe. So just weighing the options here, they are both truly great for the Mets, and there are connections with both of them. As I mentioned, the Mets shown interest in Brad Hand, were planning to pick him up on waivers, but they simply weren't in with the new regime yet. When you look at Liam Hendriks, they have reportedly shown interest in him too over the past couple months. That's why we did a video here on the channel. It was reported, I think, a month or two ago now, if I had to say. And then if you also look at his connection with Sandy Alderson has that familiarity with him in Oakland and everything in between. These guys are both dominant, and I would love to see them both in Queens. But if you're looking for a guy like Liam Hendriks, he might command, say, more term and more AAV per se than a guy like Brad Hand. The speculation with Brad Hand is maybe you can land him on a 2-year deal anywhere between 16 to 18 mil, versus a guy like Hendricks who might be going for around 3 years, upwards of 35 mil. So there is a little bit of a difference there, obviously, but if the Mets can handle both, it won't surprise me to see them land both of them. But if I had to say what is best fit for the Mets as of now, given the fact of their need for a lefty in the pen, you're probably favoring Brad Hand. But in my personal opinion, I'm a bigger fan than Hendricks. Between Hendricks and Hand, I love Hendricks. I think they're both great relievers, but if I'm the guy picking, I would love Liam Hendriks because of just how dominant he's been over the past year and a half or so, and looks like he's truly in the prime of his career, finally figured his game out. He's just such a great story. Make sure to look him up if you're interested. But that is all for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Brad Hand or Liam Hendriks, two all-star closers, overall relievers, landing in Queens? And which one do you think is most likely to land in Queens, or which one is best fit in your opinion? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, guys. And thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like, subscribe button, share this video with your friends. All those great things is just beginning here on the channel. And I know that when you look at my subscribers here, we only have around, I believe, what, 10 to 15% of actual subscribers that watch the videos versus people who aren't subscribed. So if you're not subscribed and you like this Mets content, please smash the subscribe button and share with your friends. It would really mean a lot. But thank you all again, guys. Expect great content here on the channel going forward, and I'll see you guys next time.